Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's STORMYBMAN, and I am live and on the move. Shout out to my brother Junior the Truth. What's good, everybody? Happy Friday morning to you as I come to you with a little bit of a live on my commute to my grind. Just trying to put another piece of content out there. Gonna talk a little bit about a video that I was able to check out this morning as I was preparing. My brother Blue Blood Sports TV dropped a video that was very interesting, and it's only a few minutes, but it's something that raises the ire of a Patreon that I just posted. For any of you who are signed up for my Patreon, there's new content up that I put up just last night, and we're talking about the Ducker's Paradise. That's what the Patreon video is called, and it is a boxing subject that I'm talking about there. But Junior's video, Blue Blood's video that I caught this morning about Ryan Garcia and this mysterious muscle mass that he has acquired just in the past few weeks. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Some of you guys go to the gym on a regular basis because you're trying to keep in shape, trying to keep your blood flowing, and do the positive things to stay in a healthy way of life. Well, Ryan looks like a bodybuilder. And from what we've heard, he hasn't even been in a gym training. He's been training in private and in silence. And now also, word has it that he has gone back to the comfort of being trained by his dad. Now, at the top level of the sport, his dad can touch no one who has been a professional coach and trainer for many years, and not only for years put in and time served, but subjects that they have trained. So this is a thing that people really should pay attention to. They really should pay attention to that. But anyway, if you all remember, in his last outing, which was a 12-round decision loss to Rolly Romero, where he was dropped, I believe, in the second round by a left hook, a double left hook by Rolly Romero. Ryan never really landed his in the entire fight, which was quite interesting. But Ryan was also quite subdued in that fight, and as far as his temperament when it came to fighting, and even leading up to the press, covering the fight. Now, with this newfound physique, and also his temperament, which was familiar when you go back to his promotion against Devin Haney, where he ended up coming out of that situation testing positive for a couple of banned substances, not just one. Now, people want to talk about, the Ostarine, but it's like Ryan had a lot going on. And now there seems to be something going on again. And the fight is in February, people, next month. So he's got a little bit of time to do this thing that they call cycling, huh? But remember, the WBC has raised levels. So Mario Barrios is in trouble, people. He's in trouble because he's going to be able to go in there against a guy that is a noted rule breaker, huh? And also may be unstable psychologically. Yeah. So that's what we can talk about a little bit this morning. Salute to you guys. I see a couple of you have come into the building. I appreciate that. Del Riv is out there. What's going on with you, man? Good morning to you. We got Giovanni out there. What's happening? I'm trying to read as I'm driving, so I got to be careful with that because I don't want to end up in a crack up out here. Hen Dog is in the building. He says, yep, Ryan was scared of that boy, but he's terrified of Haney. Yeah. Troll Slayer in the building. Good morning to you as well. Salute to you. Man, my Patreon that I did on Ducker's Paradise falls into this category as well, because you'll have to go to the Patreon to check that video out. I couldn't upload that on YouTube because of the content that I'm speaking about and how I'm, honestly and forthrightly speaking of the subjects that are involved. But this thing about banned substances and people being allowed to continue, this weekend, tomorrow, we've got Sabril Matias taking on Dalton Smith at the Barclays in New York. Now, Sabril has tested positive for a banned substance during this training camp. And the WBC is going to allow him to go ahead and defend their title. And Dalton Smith is now going in against a guy who's juicing. This is really, really a bad thing. But what we're seeing is it's happening so much now that a sanctioning body like the WBC appears to be waving the flag to say, okay, well, forget it. We'll just let it pass. But if it's banned, it should not be. Does someone literally have to be killed? And these people taken to prison for authorizing this? Do you guys not remember in the promotion leading up to Devin Haney, Ryan talking about, wouldn't it be cool if we had a league of cheaters using banned substances? I won't say what he said verbatim, but you understand what I'm saying. In the last quarter of 2025, we saw at least 5 prominent fighters in the sport of boxing, including women, test positive for banned substances. 5. Now, those are the ones that were reported. What about the ones that are not reported, people? The ones who go unknowingly. Because you have to understand that does take place. It takes place. And this is nothing to celebrate. Devin Haney posts a picture of him flexing in the gym while he's training. And people are like, oh, look at him. He's on something. That snack, whatever. Like Blue Blood talked about and alluded to. Terrence Bud Crawford, same thing. Able to go into his fight against Canelo Alvarez comfortably because he didn't have to cut like he had been doing for so many years when he was at the lighter weights. And he himself told you that he stayed in the gym all the time as a discipline to keep the weight off so his cuts wouldn't be as severe, instead of being like some of these guys who allow themselves to blow up in between fights, Stephen Fulton, and then have to cut harshly down, severely depleting yourself, like Devin Haney used to do when he was fighting at lightweight. So the observation is, when a fighter doesn't have to cut as much, he can maintain all of his strength, all of his muscle mass, and be able to fight in a more solid, secure manner. What Ryan is doing, people, he's just not good enough. So it's about being able to compete, because he's really not a good fighter. He's not. He's a guy that's popular. He happens to have had a good amateur career, but as a professional, he doesn't have the wherewithal to stick it out psychologically, because you have to have a certain level of psychological, mental security. He doesn't have that. So banned substances, what they do for a fighter like himself, it gives him confidence, it gives him strength, and a sense of emboldened courage, because the lack of confidence is covered. So when allowed to do this, he could come across as capable. So what a fighter who goes in against Ryan Garcia has to do, especially if you're not making him enroll in 24/7 testing, you got to play a mental game with him. You have to take him to task psychologically. And let's just face it, people, there are not a lot of great thinkers out there in boxing today. They're not. We have a handful who are not only capable in their abilities boxing-wise, but they know the game from a psychological standpoint. And they have coaches, trainers, people around them to assist with them being able to formulate game plans that they can follow and execute. Because being able to have a game plan is one thing, but being able to execute it is another. We're seeing the sport being ripped apart by these sanctioning bodies not being judicious enough to maintain disciplines in the sport. We're really literally busting at the seams. No pun intended, but pun intended. With guys who just can't be on the level because they're just not that good. Just not that good. Hendog says that shouldn't be a pay-per-view. Talking about Matias and Smith. No, it shouldn't. And I'm hoping that one of the people out here can hook me up with a link, because I would like to watch the fight. But I'm not gonna pay for that mess, man. I'm not paying for that. That fight should have been on DAZN, like it originally was projected to be on DAZN. Then somewhere along the way they changed it to pay-per-view. What is it, payperview.com or something like that? No way. I'm paying for a drug cheat? Headlining? No way, man. No way. But this whole thing with Ryan Garcia, and there are going to be more people popping dirty, especially with the decisions that the WBC make, because if you notice, there are a lot of fighters who want to find and align themselves with the WBC, and they'll tell you openly, they'll say things like, well, you know, the green belt is the belt that most champions always held and blah, 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 blah. No, it's the sanctioning body that will allow these guys to get away with so much, especially if you happen to be a Latin fighter. More so if you're a Latin fighter. But I don't understand the black fighters that want to align themselves with the WBC, because they don't give a damn about you. And as soon as they could get an opportunity to align you against another fighter, if you're holding their belt, they'll take that belt away from you. Do you remember the WBC stripping Devin Haney when he went to have surgery? Oh, we're going to make him a champion in recess. Why you got to take the man's belt from him? He's having surgery. Canelo has had surgery. They didn't even think about taking Canelo's belt. Canelo, with the multi-millions and millions that he has made as an undisputed champion at 168, bopping in and out of certain divisions in boxing, you've never heard them announce that they were going to take $300,000 in sanctioning fees from him. Isn't that something? You've never heard them mention taking sanctioning fees from Canelo. Never. To tell you the truth, I don't have his books, but I'm going to tell you something. I don't think Canelo pays sanctioning fees. And that's why the recoup is there for other fighters, because they're trying to draw the money off of other people's backs and necks while they give him all types of provisions. But banned substance, raised levels, or anything notwithstanding, he couldn't whoop a little old welterweight by the name of Terrence Bud Crawford. Couldn't deal with it. Yeah, man. And Ryan has had 3 title shots in a row. He blew the one against Devin. Suspended for a year. They try to talk about it like he just took a year off. He was suspended, which it should have been more than that. And he comes back in his first fight back. He's fighting for a vacant title of the WBA against Rolly. And it was under the pretenses that he was supposed to be coming back to face Devin Haney in a rematch, so he had to roll in VADA testing. And Rolly got the benefit of that and not Devin, because the whole point was for Devin to face him off of the juice. And then when he lost to Rolly, he feigned a hand injury and took more time off, dropping the rematch, and had negotiated that Devin drop the lawsuit that was raised against them for breaches, not for the fight. So he got away from that as well. Disingenuous, liar. He needs to be kicked out of the sport. That's unethical behavior, people. But you got people running around here celebrating this guy. Ring Magazine have put him on their air to talk boxing. Why don't he tell people how to cheat? How to take banned substances? They should have a certain segment with him speaking on juice. Yeah. Yeah. Universal Truth, what's good with you? They're making it harder and harder for a person like me. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. I really love the sport of boxing. I watch boxing, man. Like, I'll watch two novices. You know what I'm saying? But they're making it hard to be a person to support the sport with all of this corruption going on. And then the good guys get sidetracked, sidelined, and they can't garner respect because the promotion of the cheaters, the corrupt people, seems to get placed to the forefront. And we have a, if you can't beat them, join them type mentality in our society. Well, you know, that's how it is, man. That's the way it goes. We don't have to be accepting of that. We don't have to. I'm really sick and tired of every time you turn around, somebody's popping dirty. Joseph Parker against Fabio Wardley back in October. What the hell was that? Cocaine? Really? Cocaine. Now, some people will say, oh man, he was getting high or whatever, blah, blah, blah. No, the components of substances that are found and aligned in cocaine were found in him, in his samples. But what you have to understand that cocaine is also a masking agent that could be used, or at least a product that has those properties in it. No wonder he was trying to take Fabio's punches. For a guy that was 270 pounds, okay, and basically 270 plus, because you know he ate after the weigh-in, right? But a guy that big, way over his what should be his natural body weight. Joseph Parker shouldn't be 270 pounds unless he ain't gonna fight, huh? He should really be around 235, 240 max, tops. Yeah. But we got a chance to see what he did. Huh? Cheating. Man, I'm driving under this overpass and there's a flood of water, so I have to go through here slowly because you don't know. Ooh-wee. That's a lot of water, man. Anyway, taking cocaine or something that is like cocaine. Remember, there are designer drugs out there, so it could also affect your endurance and everything, meaning like you might be able to take pain, you might be able to take trauma better. When you're in a hospital, don't they give you what is that called, codeine or something like that? Yeah, man. They're doing a lot, but there's not enough conversation about it. And I salute Blue Blood because Blue Blood is always on it, man. And people give him crap because he just comes out with information. He's dropping the information. You could do with it as you choose. But if you choose not to acknowledge the value of revelation and truth, then shame on you. Yeah, universal, a numbing agent. Absolutely. How do these people, I mean, seriously, guys, say you work a desk job, right? I ain't even talking about a factory job or anything like that, blue collar. Just say you work a desk job. And at the end of the day, you have to file so many papers. You have to be prepared to submit certain, documentations that have a deadline. And it may require you to work extra hours, lose a little time with your family or whatever, because you gotta meet this deadline or whatever, right? And then you got another colleague, co-worker, who's got the same assignment and everything. You could be working on different subjects, but they do the same job that you do. And they leave for the day. But somebody comes in and takes over and takes care of that job for them. And they still get the same pay like you, whatever. Didn't put the work in like you, whatever. And that person that took the weight off the shoulder is not known by your overseers. So it's like, man, I'm putting in all this work and everything, and this dude don't do anything. It's like, he's sunning and funning, and I'm over here up to my elbows in work. That's not cool, is it? That's not cool at all. Well, it's the same thing in boxing, where you got guys who work hard in the gym, training, weeks and weeks of toiling, sacrifice, cutting weight, road work, all of this stuff, calisthenics. And then you got a guy like Ryan. Have you guys ever seen Ryan lift weights? Seriously. Have you ever seen him lifting weights? And you say, like a month ago, he was kind of like, not looking what he looks like today. But you heard that thing, that affliction in his voice starting to change, right? You heard it. Well, they call it like the cocaine voice, like remember when Tyson Fury was doing heavy substances, and now, because I'm sorry, they interrupted my stream for a minute. Maybe I'm talking about, oh yeah, I am talking about Ryan, right? So we can expect that, can't we, people? We can expect them to mess with the stream because I'm talking about their guy, King Osterine. Yeah, bars. Anyway, so those images that were shown of him with that black tank shirt on, hitting the bag or hitting the pads or whatever he was hitting that his pappy was holding up, he looks like a guy that was really in Gold's Gym or something. What the hell, bro? That dude does not work out like that. But it's obvious that he's taking something. I tell you, boy, black men are real ignorant, bro. I'm driving down this street. This guy driving like what looks to be one of those mini buses that you take people around in, like elderly people or something like that. He just pulled right out of this building's driveway right in front of me. And then he pulls over to the other lane, and we come to a stop sign. And I look over at him, and he looking at me, giving me a dirty look. Now, I didn't do anything to the guy. I'm just driving. But he gives me this dirty look like, what? A black man. Looked like he could be about my age, but he don't take care of himself, so he looks all, like, he unhappy with his life or something. But where's that aggression at toward me? What did I do to him? I didn't do anything to him. I'm driving down the street. He cut me off. I didn't say nothing. I didn't flip him the bird. I just glanced over at him. But he gives me this dirty look like we getting ready to have a 15-round bout. See, it's that kind of thing amongst our people. That's why we can't get ahead. Yeah. That's why we can't get ahead. He got his aggression tuned in the wrong direction, bro. That man will probably never see me again in life. Hopefully, I don't see him. Because he's ugly. He's got an ugly spirit and disposition about himself. No, Del Real, they kind of interrupted the stream. See, when they do that kind of stuff, they hoping that your viewership falls off, you see. That's one of the ways they do that. They do that just to interrupt, because like if you start buffering and stuff like that, they'd be like, yeah, you do that for a minute or two, people will leave. People will leave. I've been doing this long enough to figure that shit out. Yeah, that's true, Giovanni. They do. And the thing about it is, the more that you elevate yourself and separate your mindset from this kind of thing, the more you realize how low they are, how low-browed they are. Their psyche, their mental is like totally different from yours. That's why you just let them do what they do, because within moments sometimes, or it could take a minute, they'll be shown. They'll be shown, and all of that doesn't mean anything. Mean mugging and all of that stuff, dude. I ain't got time to be. Me out here being aggressive toward another black man. But I bet you he'll break his ass for them folks, though. Oh, let me get that for you, sir. Foolishness. Y'all know me. That's that word. I'll use it. Foolishness. Jeff Spark, what's going on? Grand rising to you, bro. You know, if I had a chance to interview Mario Barrios, I would ask him, what are your thoughts, if any, about the rumored issues that Ryan Garcia has had to contend with over the past few years of he cheating and having substance problems and things of that nature? What are your thoughts on that? And you having to fight and go against a guy who's known for this. I would want to honestly hear his response to that. Genuine. See, you got guys who do interviews and stuff and they don't talk about the proper stuff. They don't. And it needs to be talked about. Ooh, boy, look at this bad accident that done happened out here. Somebody done ripped off the whole front end of their car. Must have been on the phone or something. Don't worry, guys. My stuff is dash mounted. Either that or somebody was speeding and ran a light or something. It's right at an intersection. I was just telling you guys about these fools out here, didn't I? But I'm taking my time. I'm, talking to you guys. Both hands on the wheel. I don't have an aggressive nature doing what I'm doing. I'm kind of chill, actually. See, I get myself mentally ready before I go to bed. And if I'm blessed and wake up the next day, I know what a blessing is. It is to see a new day. And I'm out here trying to do the best I can. You hear me all the time talk about taking it to the max, right? Even when I don't feel my best, I still try to bring it, right? Yeah, come on in, family. Smash that like button as you come into the building. Man, tomorrow night, since I won't be watching Matias and Smith because it's on pay-per-view, I guess I'll just tune in and watch the Bears and the Packers. And if the Bears come out on top, I'm going to give 78 some mess about the Packers. Yeah. But we'll see what the Bears do, because although they've had a better season than most that they've had in the past few years, they're still not a winning team yet. A winning team is established. You won for a duration, not just for a season, Because what we've seen that, what they call it, worst to first and all of that kind of foolishness. And then you can go from first to worst. So, hey, they've been dwelling around worst for a long time. But at least I'll have something to watch, since Sabril is on pay-per-view. Who the hell wants to pay pay-per-view for a drug cheat? Rackety. Yeah, Dale, listen. They gave him a good game, but they're still learning how to win. Games shouldn't be close like that. And then they seem to not focus in until the fourth quarter and stuff. It's like, dude, you gotta have 4 quarters of focus. You can't just focus in a portion of the game. You gotta get in there and take it to the max, man. You gotta handle that business. Look at these guys, man. What are y'all doing? Man, people, how do you get up out of the bed and go out there and be operating a motor vehicle with such foolishness in your head? Oh my goodness. If you guys can see what I'm witnessing, no wonder I saw that bad accident a moment ago. They wake up with foolishness, man. They wake up out here, it's like zombies. The Day of the Dead. Huh? Oh. Yeah, Del Real, it was originally on the Zone. Cause I remember, you know how if you have the Zone app, right? You could go to there and they'll tell you the upcoming fights. And then you could even click on the thing where it say the fight card and it'll show you all the fights that's on the card, right? It was originally on the Zone. Some fucking mastermind, probably Ed Hearn, took it off of the Zone and made it pay-per-view.com. But a month ago, when I looked it up, it was on the Zone. It was on the Zone. What the hell, bro? It's foolishness like that that make me it just upsets me, man. Because they doing too much. Everything don't need to be pay-per-view, man. And that's these promoters. They don't want to put money up for fights and pay these fighters, man. How much money do you think Ed Hearn and Matchroom made off of Anthony Joshua with that damn $93 million that he got paid for the fight with Jake Paul? See, people don't think about that. How do you think Matchroom made? Because remember, he signed a lifetime contract with them, which means that they're getting a big portion of his checks. If that 33 and a third, that Masonic number that they put out there, if that's what he's getting, somebody calculate what's 33 and a third of 93 million. Calculate that. Yeah. Calculate that. I'm no mathematician, huh? Math was never my strong suit, because I could do my math, but I'm slow with it. I'm not, you got some people when it comes to numbers, they go like a computer and they just figure shit out. But I'm driving at the moment. I'm like, okay, 33 and a third of 93 million. Universal says 31,000. No, we're talking about millions here, bro. We're talking millions. Millions. Come on, man. And Hearn don't want to put no money up for this damn fight with Matias and his guy Dalton Smith. And he never wins purse bids. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Eddie Hearn never, okay, 31 million. You wrote 31,000 the first time. Okay, 31 million. Listen. And think about that. 31 million for Matchroom, right? So the Subriel Matias fight, Hearn didn't win the purse bid, so it's being promoted by, I think, Subriel's promoter or whatever. But the point being is, dude, With all of that money that you're taking in from the fighter, you ain't fought, you ain't throwing a punch, you ain't taking no punch, you ain't exercised, you ain't did shit. And that's what you take home? See, nobody talks about that kind of thing. But maybe that'll be a great conversation to have on live, huh? Yeah. Yeah. How much is the promoter taking home? Well, guys, I'm here at my destination now. I want to thank everybody that came in, that commented in the damn chat here. You know, I know some of you are early risers and just getting going with your day. But I appreciate you taking time out to listen a little bit to Stormy B, man. As you heard in my little commute, man, there's all kinds of stuff going on, right? It's like, wow. And it's not even 7 a.m. yet. But I thank God that I made it to where I am. Bless you all for your support here. And I'll do my best to come back for the Friday night chop session this evening. But I hope you all have a blessed day. And I'll catch up with you all later. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. And we gone.